Chapter 11. Your Royal Highness, I have so much to share about my recent visit to Dreadwillow Ch. I don't know where to start. Today, I ventured farther inside than I have ever gone before. What I saw during my time there was much as you would expect. In many ways, the Ch is a swamp, like any other. And yet, it isn't. When you're inside the Ch, it's as if the swamp itself is trying to force you to leave by filling you with terror. I think this is meant to keep anyone from going to the very center of the Ch. Perhaps that's where I'll discover the secret you seek. One strange thing I learned. I think the Ch is nourished by sadness. In fact, once I expressed sorrow, the terror lifted briefly, and I found it possible to go deeper in. But this doesn't make sense. There is no sadness to be found anywhere in the monarchy. If the Ch requires sorrow to survive, how could it possibly exist and flourish? It's too big for my tears alone to sustain it. I hope you find the answers as I continue to explore for your highness. I worry, though, that being in the Ch takes a toll. When I returned home, I collapsed. I recovered, but it may be a few more days before I feel strong enough to return. I promise to carry out your orders and learn everything I can. Please know that you and your mother, the exalted Queen Sula, are in my thoughts. I pray you're both well and content. Your obedient servant, Anne. P.S. Throughout the monarchy, the people tell the story of Pirip and Tally. Does your highness know this tale? Dear Anne, I had no idea that being in the Ch for a long time would make you ill. Do whatever you need to recover. Perhaps we should rethink this plan. Whatever secrets lie in the Ch are not worth exposing you to illness. But you have definitely made me curious. Every monarch has worked tirelessly to ensure that people throughout the land are happy. If, as you say, the Ch needs sadness, how does it survive? If anything, it should be choking on the joy that surrounds it. Very strange. I would ask my tutor, Sconus, but I doubt he would tell me. He is the most frustrating man I've ever met. He's supposed to be teaching me how to be a queen, but his lessons are wrapped in half-truths and misdirection. I worry I won't learn what I need to know in time. Thank you for asking my mother's well-being. She has days when she sits up brightly and even sings softly to herself. Other days she never leaves her bed. Her advisers perform more and more of her duties, but she remains committed to seeing her subjects happy and content. Which raises a question. I've been told that sorrow is a royal privilege. You said that the only way you were able to proceed was by sharing your sorrow. How is this possible? Her Royal Highness, Janaya, Queen Assent. P.S. I've never heard of the story of Pirip and Tally. Is it a story of the Ch? Your Royal Highness, I promised you that I would learn the Ch's secrets, and I won't let you down. We don't need to rethink our plan. I will do as I said, knowing that my father's safe return relies on it. Am I in trouble? I never meant to do something that was a royal privilege. The truth, Your Highness, is that I've always been able to feel sadness. I know I'm not supposed to. I can't help it. I've tried so hard to be as happy as everyone else in the monarchy. I know that's what the Queen wants, and I know it's what you will want when you become monarch. If I could, I would take an oath right now to never again be sad. But if I made that vow, I'd break it. Not because I wanted to. Sadness is not a choice for me. It feels natural. I've hidden it very well. I don't know why I can't get rid of it like everyone else. I will understand if you can no longer use me as your emissary. I will also understand if you have me arrested. No matter what you decide, I hope you can forgive me. Your humble and obedient servant, Anne. Dearest Anne, please know your father will be safely returned no matter what you discover in the Ch. When you put it that way, you make me feel like a scoundrel who is holding him hostage. Clearly a mistake was made in his taking, and I will see that it's corrected. I only regret that I have been unable to return him to you thus far. Things are a bit more complicated than I first thought. But know that I am trying to send him home to you. As for feeling sorrow, you're right. The Queen and I both want our people to be happy at all times. If anything, I worry that we have in some way failed you. I'm saddened that you know the burden of melancholy. Each day Mother fades a little more, and now it feels like sadness is all I know. But this just proves that you spoke the truth the night we met. You really are the only person who could possibly help me. If being able to express sorrow is required to explore the Ch, I need the one and only person besides me in the whole of the monarchy who can do so. Moreover, dear Anne, I'm relying on you. There is nothing to forgive. You remain my most trusted emissary. You mentioned a story to me about Parrot and Tally, but didn't explain why. What is the story? Is it important? I would write more, but I'm told my tutor is looking for me. I have no desire to see him, so I'm going to hide in the bathing chambers. Goodness knows he's never seen a bath. It's the last place he'll look. Fondest wishes, Janaya. P.S. I would prefer if you addressed me as Janaya. We are sisters of a sort, sharing a great secret. I like the thought of having a sister. Your Royal Highness, you are too kind to forgive me. I admit, it's strange to share my sadness with someone. No one else knows this about me. My mother knew, and she urged me to hide it. She said it would only cause problems if others knew. Imagine what she'd think if she found me talking about it with the Queen Ascent. I don't see sadness as a burden. I just see it as part of me. I only wish I knew why. It makes me different, and that is difficult. I feel broken. Oh, the story of Parrot and Tally. I don't know if it's important or not. I suspect someone might be playing a trick on me. The story is hundreds of years old. It's about two girls who lived in Callowtown, the town on the other side of the Carse from Emberfall. The two girls were wicked and often cried, feeling sad against the monarch's wishes. One day they went into the Carse and were never seen again. Depending on who's telling the story, it sometimes ends with the Carse eating the girls. Even though it's just a story, I've often wondered if there was some truth to it. Many years ago, my mother showed me our family tree. I learned that I had distant cousins whose names were Parrot and Tally. They lived about 300 years ago, and there are no records of what happened to them. I'm starting to suspect it's just a tall tale. I think Parrot and Tally might live in the Carse. I'm sorry to hear your tutor is not helpful. I learned how to blow glass by watching my mother. Perhaps you could learn how to be queen by watching yours. Your humble, obedient, and grateful servant, Anne. P.S. I'm not sure I can call you by your first name. Not that I don't also feel like we're becoming sisters, but I want to show how much I respect and love the monarchy. You will always be your Royal Highness. Dear Anne, you are brilliant. Yes, clearly I need to watch my mother govern, and that will tell me everything I need to know about being a queen. I've never watched her when she consults with her advisers. I've never been allowed. But surely they can't keep me out now, with so little time left. An excellent opportunity to watch her is coming up soon. Who needs Sconas? I can do this myself. I'm embarrassed I didn't think of this myself. If you never learn anything useful about the Carse, I will forever be indebted to you for this. Many thanks, Janaya. P.S. Why do you feel Parrot and Tally live in the Carse? Your Royal Highness, your mind is split in many directions, I would think. Your studies with your tutor, the Queen's health, just to begin. I think that I might overlook such a simple solution, too, if I hadn't been able to concentrate. I'm glad I was of some small service. As for Parrot and Tally, I'm not sure at all that what I encountered has anything to do with the story. The Carse is a strange place, and it may all have been a trick, or maybe a test. Yes, I can't explain why, but every time I've ever entered the Carse, I felt it was testing me. But this last time, more than ever. I am recovering swiftly and plan to return to the Carse the night after next. I'll report back when I learn more. Your humble, obedient, grateful, and loyal servant, Anne. Dearest Anne, I am happy to hear you are on the mend. Please do not return to the Carse until you are fully well. Since you first mentioned it, I haven't been able to get the story of Parrot and Tally out of my mind. I checked in the library and found several instances of the story, but none mention that they went into the Carse. The storybooks all simply say the girls vanished. I'm intrigued that you suspect these girls might be your distant relatives. If they were on your mother's side, would she know anything about them? Janaya. P.S. I really wish you called me Janaya. Your Royal Highness, I don't know for sure that the girls who disappeared in the story are the same girls in our family tree. Maybe I'll learn more when I'm in the Carse again. Unfortunately, I cannot ask my mother. She's been gone for several years now. Your humble, obedient, grateful, loyal, and devoted servant, Anne. Dearest Anne, I am so sorry to hear of your mother's passing. I think you know that I understand what you've been through. Janaya. Your Royal Highness. Thank you, Your Highness, but my mother isn't dead. Your humble, obedient, grateful, loyal, devoted, and dutiful servant, Anne. And that's the end of Chapter 11.